Wildfire Embers and Acid Flask. They sounded perfect together. Explosive, stylish, fast. I picture a rogue dashing across the battlefield, shifting, tossing flasks, acid fire raining down, Heartseeker chaining enemies like fireworks, while the ground burned non-stop. It was beautiful. It was elegant. It was mapping like a squirrel on crack. Everything seemed to be working perfectly until the bosses started laughing. What started as one of the most cinematic builds I ever created quickly collapsed into a broken mess of mana starvation, stat confusion, and acid flasks that hit softer than wet napkins. But here's the thing, that failure, it turned into one of the most fun and chaotic builds I've played in a while. Just had to tear it apart and rebuild it from the ashes. The whole experiment started with one crazy idea. Can you build an entire rogue around the new Primordial Wildfire Embers amulet? Now you have to understand, this item had people buzzing before Season 3 drop, but when it finally arrived, most players were not impressed to say the least. So there was absolutely no guarantee that building around this unique was going to work. But the stubborn me couldn't just back off at the idea. And with hope and maybe a little bit of madness, I grabbed the amulet. And here's what it does. Every time you ignite an enemy, it spawns a fiery wisp. That wisp then copies one of your fire skills and can even add more ignites. Basically, chain reactions of burning chaos. So the mission was clear. Ignite everything. Now how do we cause ignition in the first place? Well, Wildfire Embers already gives you ignite chains based on how much fire resistance you stack past 75%. But that alone wasn't enough, so I doubled down. Fire starter torch to spread flames everywhere. Acid flask converted to fire for more oomph. Shift to effortlessly toss those burning flasks on the move. Explosive trap to launch even more. Then finally, Heartseeker to seal the deal. Auto firing through Ravenger's dart, now turn into burning daggers that keep ignites rolling. Top it off with Pillager's gold for extra dagger spam, and Stein Fate for near constant shift uptime. And suddenly, the dream came alive. A fast slippery rogue, raining acid fire while blinking across the screen. Heartseeker dancing, flames chaining, style for days baby. For mapping, oh, it worked. In fact, it worked stupidly well. Enemies burst before they could even react, as Heartseeker and Puncture went to work beautifully. Burning daggers jumped from one enemy to another, lighting the screen on fire. It looked insane. But then, the bosses showed up. That first major boss fight felt like slamming into a wall made of glue. The longer the fight dragged on, the faster my mana vanished. Acid flask and explosive track cost way more than expected. Wildfire Wisp barely helped. And Heartseeker? Bro, it just wasn't triggering fast enough to matter on single targets. Worse, the damage was simply not there. You see, at the time, my setup was split between damage over time and throwing damage, but Acid Flask mainly scaled with throwing damage. So every point I spent on damage over time made the build weaker. It was a mess. My stats were fighting each other. My gear didn't know what it wanted to be. And my Marksman 3, which I mainly took to unlock Heartseeker, lost half his power because I wasn't even using a bow to begin with. And meanwhile, bosses were strolling through my flames like it was a spa day. Didn't even flinch. Just kept walking, while my mana drained faster than a broken faucet. That's when it hit me. This build wasn't just weak, it was broken at the core. Now here's where most builds get abandoned, but I was too stubborn, or maybe just too curious, to simply let it go. So I asked myself, what if I stopped fighting the build's nature and leaned into it? Stop forcing Marksman to work, stop juggling 2 damage types, just commit to one. That's when I respect into Falconer, and boy, let me tell you, everything just started making sense.
Hunter と呼ばれる理由、本当の狩りの始まりだ。
The moment I switched to Falconer, everything started to click. My damage now scaled purely from throwing attacks. No more wasted points split between damage types. Falconer's passives and skills sync perfectly, fast, fluid, and no more mana burnout. And the Falconer itself, it added a whole new layer of damage and control. No more praying for lucky Heartseeker chains. I dropped Puncture and Heartseeker like a Toxic X and dove deeper into Falconry plus Shurikens instead. I also regeared, swapped out my old rings and relic for a red ring to fix mana efficiency, plus a double exalted ring and relic stacked with throwing damage. Picked up a Traitor's tongue offhand for bonus damage, crits, and extra skill points. Grabbed a helmet with damage boost in mind, a Brewmaster's belt for potion based mana recovery, and fully leaned into the glass cannon fantasy. From here on out, no more playing safe, no more compromises, no more holding back. The Falconer variant plays like a controlled hurricane. You're always moving, trapping, tossing, shifting, unleashing chaos in tight, beautiful loops. Explosive Trap became my new trigger. Every cast rained down acid flasks like fiery napalm. With my new mana regen, I could now throw them non-stop. No second thoughts, but most importantly, no mana burnout. Shift kept me nimble and untouchable, dropping mini explosions when I dashed out and when I landed. And then there's the Falcon. With the Toxic Airdrop node, it drops mini nukes across the map, softening enemies and pulling aggro off of me without any commands. Talk about a partner from hell. This changed everything, because now, with my Falcon doing the Lord's work, there was no longer a need for Heartseeker, all while still keeping the same style and identity I started with. The visual chaos was still there, the speed, the explosions, the flare, except this time, it actually hit like it looked. Now I won't lie to you, this build is fragile. Like, it's the very definition of glass cannon, chief. You're not face tanking anything here. Your health pool is paper thin, even with all the resistances almost capped. One wrong move, one bad shift, 1 second too slow, and you are face down in your own fire pool. This is exactly the reason why we grabbed shurikens earlier. They autocast every time you shift, giving you a brief layer of armor so you can survive a hit or two. But make no mistake, my friend, evasion is the name of the game. And the trade-off is pure adrenaline rush, baby. When it works, and when you play right, it feels like you're 3 moves ahead of everything on the screen. This is a build that rewards precision. You have to learn when to shift, when to trap, and when to vanish when you are in too much heat. It is not easy, my friend, but damn, is it so satisfying to constantly pull it off. So why does this chaotic mess actually work? Because the foundation is solid, even if the road there wasn't. When I was trying to force the Marksman version, I was building a machine with parts that didn't fit. The frame looked sleek, the engine sounded cool, but the damn freaking thing wouldn't start. Falconer changed that. It lined everything up. Mechanics, stats, scaling, all in sync. It took my stylish Wildfire Rogue dream and finally gave it the engine to run full throttle. The truth is, good builds are not just about raw power. They are about flow, they are about fun, they are about finding what makes you tick. When your class, skills, gear, and mechanics all align, even a meme idea built around a scuffed amulet can turn into something meta worth it. And this one, it is by far one of the fastest, flashiest, and most satisfying builds I ever played.
Don't lose your way.
If there's one thing to take from this build is this: creative failures are not failure, they are detour, they are experiments. They are messy stepping stones to something incredible. I mean, look here, this build wasn't supposed to work. On paper it was cool, but in practice, a total disaster. Yet, with one pivot and a bit of persistence, it turned into a build I simply couldn't stop playing. So if you got a weird idea, chase it. If your build is falling apart, don't scrap it. Ask yourself instead why it's failing and what it's trying to become. And if you love chaotic, stylish glass cannons that reward skillful movement and punish mistakes, then maybe, just maybe, this is exactly your kind of wildfire. If you enjoyed this experiment breakdown, hit like and subscribe to support the channel, and drop your weirdest failed builds in the comments. Who knows, it might just be the next one I showcase. Click one of the videos popping up next for more cinematic breakdowns, and until we meet again, stay stylish, stay untouchable, and may your crits always be juicy.